So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, as always, to our Trisha Talk this afternoon, which I think is a subject close to, well, it's probably close to all of your hearts, which is why you've come to listen to this. And it's the subject of glasses. Now, obviously, as we get older, the likelihood that we'll end up wearing glasses increases quite dramatically. And that's one of the things I actually want to talk to Karen about. But some of you may have worn glasses all your life, or you might be like me. I'm going to put my glasses on now. You need glasses for very specific reasons. I need them for driving and for watching films and things like that, but I don't need them every day. I'm starting to notice that I'm needing them for reading as well, but I haven't needed them for a long time for that. Well, most of my life. Anyway, I'm very delighted today to welcome Karen Haase to our Trisha Talk. I didn't actually meet Karen when I went up to Yorkshire for a Silver and Sassy event, which was like a fashion show for older women. But I was interested to see that some of the models were wearing really nice glasses in, with great frames. And when I went out afterwards to have a look at some of the stands that they were for companies selling their wares, the first one that I came across was for the Yorkshire Eyewear company, and that is Karen's company. And they're based in 3 places in Yorkshire. They're based in Goole, Howden and Knaresborough. And so I was very interested to talk to them because they had some fantastic frames on this stand, and I just fell in love with it. I was just standing there going, oh, these are so gorgeous. And it's very rare to actually see glasses that you immediately think, oh, I'd like several of those pairs. So I was very, very interested, and we contacted Karen, and basically here we are today. And I'm really looking forward to hear what she's got to say. So Karen, I'd like to welcome you, obviously. And first of all, maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about your business. I know you own it with your husband, but when did you set it up? Why did you set it up? And I'm also interested if you'd also like to tell us what happened during lockdown. Presumably you had to shut your shops. So tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you for inviting me, Trisha. I started off in optics back in '92, so I've been in the industry for 29 years now. And actually, it was one of those really mad things. I worked at the Midland Bank, didn't like banking, went off to do Camp America, came back home for a contact lens check and got offered a job. That's how I fell into optics. So you never know what's around the corner. Gary and I have had our own businesses for about 17 years now. We started off with the gold practice. We've been in Howden for about 7 years and Knaresborough for almost 7 years. We've always had a passion about doing the right thing for patients. And so being independent has been key for us because we can choose the right styles and the right looks and how we want to have the practices. So all the practices I've actually shop fitted. We've shop fitted as a family. We've got the 4 children involved as well. We've sort of upcycled and recycled. So we have a more boutique-y look rather than a clinical look. And that was really important to me, that somewhere choosing your glasses has to be quite comfortable. During lockdown, we did close the businesses. We just had regular Zoom meetings with the rest of the team. Nobody knew it. Like the rest of the world, nobody really knew what was going to happen.
Okay, so you presumably all 3 shops had to close, and you managed to kind of weather that storm and get through it, so that you could reopen as soon as you possibly could and get started again. Because you don't actually sell online, do you? And I need to make that clear. I want to explore that with you a bit later, what we might want to do if we do want to get in touch with you and whether there are options. But for those of you watching this who do actually live in that area, and we're talking about the area around Harrogate, Leeds, you're accessible from York, aren't you, places like that. Obviously you could visit one of Karen's shops and actually go in and see the frames. I want to start, you just talked about something quite important there, and I'd quite like to start with that, because glasses has got 2 aspects. One is the medical aspect, which is to do with eyes and eyesight. And the other is the fashion aspect, which is to do with the fact that in correcting your eyesight, you then have this eyewear, as you call it, the furniture on your face, which is your glasses. And obviously that can have quite a significant effect on how you look. So let's just start with the sensible bit, if you like, before we come to the more glamorous bit, which is to do with eye health. And I suppose one of the questions that I want to ask you is, from the point, from your point of view, what is the most important thing to be aware of with your eyes as you age? And what are all the things that should ring alarm bells in people when it comes to their eyesight?
Well, I think it's important for everybody to have a regular eye examination. When you go for an eye test, it's not just about your vision, it's the whole health of the eye. So the optometrist will look at the back of the eye. My husband's actually picked up, I know, from extremes, brain tumours and loss of sight, detached retinas. I mean, they're few and far between, but it's still really important to, especially for children, to have regular eye examinations, because they can often correct problems before they become problems. If that makes sense. Certainly with children, and now there's new lenses that come out to help with myopia, which is short-sightedness, to help slow it down. So there's technology is always moving rapidly.
Yes, so obviously eye health is incredibly important. I mean, I think one of the most terrifying things from my point of view would be to feel that I was starting to lose my sight. I don't know about anybody else on this call, but there is something quite terrifying about that prospect. I'm going slightly deaf, and I fear that, believe it or not, much less than I would fear losing my sight. And as I said, I think being deaf is a huge handicap, but we are all terrified of that. So eye health and making sure that your eyes are working optimally is unbelievably important. And of course, as an optician, you can help a lot with that. So let's just come on now to tell us a little bit about how you source your frames and why you have gone so much in the direction of really finding interesting and exciting frames. What was that inspired by?
Again, I think from my personal view that your glasses have to do so much more than just correct your vision. When you see somebody, your first impressions are your glasses, the face, and how they fit. And often we get judged in this materialistic world very quickly. But your glasses can either complement you and help balance your features, which is really important. And always looking for something a little bit different with colours and styles, just to suit everybody, because not everybody will suit the same frame. And nowadays we're so lucky that there's so many different makes on the market. We tend to look for products which are environmentally friendly, which we do have a range of frames like that. Something a little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit brighter in colour. I brought a few along just to show you, actually. So some of the more popular ones now, and I think certainly because lots of people are embracing the grey and feeling that they don't have to have all the colours on the hair. They're wanting a little bit more colour elsewhere. So I don't know how, sorry, the light's not great here. So something with a little bit of colour which will match all different outfits. So it's not a case of one pair of glasses will do everything. So they're all a little bit brighter and a little bit funkier now. And I think as we've got older, I think sort of more confidence come through. And I think that's a lot as well with the personalities with people, that if you are quite a bubbly person, we chat to patients. So this is why we don't do things online. It's all about what's right for you and being bespoke to you. And you get chatting to people and you just know straight away what kind of colours will suit, and the type of person they are. And some people want to have a professional look, and some people want to just be colourful and happy.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, I think I'm really pleased and excited with the idea that glasses have become an element of style and fashion in a way that they weren't for years. They were very utilitarian things. And, you know, we all remember NHS glasses when we were kids, you know, those things that kids wore with sort of bendy frames, and they were often taped together with a bit of elastoplast because they broke so easily. And we've come such a long way away from that. And I feel quite strongly, if you have to wear glasses all the time, then trying to make them disappear from your face and not be a very good feature is a big mistake, because they can add hugely to your look, and they can be a fashion statement, and they can be very, very helpful to just making you look more glamorous, but also they're utilitarian, but they can add enormously to your style. So let's talk a little bit more in a little bit more detail, because I'm sure most of the people watching this really would like to know more about how to choose those frames which are going to suit you best. So let's look at that in a bit more detail. So let's start with shape, because obviously shape is the most important consideration perhaps when it comes to the frames that you're going to choose. So tell us as much as you can about that and how you go about choosing the shape.
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of style consultants all talk about heart shape, oval shape, round shape, and certain shapes will suit you better. Yes, you can use it as a guideline, but I wouldn't get too hung up on it. I would actually go there and try on lots of different frames. And one of the most important things for me, looking at a person's face, is just making sure the fit, not too big, not overwhelming the face, and more importantly, sitting correctly on the bridge of the nose. You could have the same frame, but it could be sat slightly higher up, which doesn't sit quite right. So style wise, it's more, rather than being too big, this is more about balance. So it's getting that all in proportion, and certainly feeling braver with some of the colors, some of the darker colors. Sorry, the light's not great, is it, in here for me? Some of the darker colors, you may find that you need to put a little bit more blusher on, or a little bit more lipstick if you wanted to go a bit brighter. Or you could go for something like a rimless frame, which will just disappear, which we do for lots of brides and mother of the brides who are wanting it all to be about the makeup and the look on the day. So just play around with the frames. There's this sort of talk about having round frames and round faces not to go, but lots of the round styles nowadays, they're a little bit bigger and they are more flattering than they used to be. So I think it's basically, as long as you've got someone with you to advise and have a good idea of fashion in the practice, then yeah, just try on as many as you can, because it's really important. Those pair of glasses are going to be lasting with you for at least the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important point. Taking somebody with you, somebody who can be honest, somebody who can really help you, who knows you well and knows what you like. I get very frustrated when I go and look at glasses, partly because I can never really see any that I particularly like, to be honest with you. And the other thing is that my experience of trying to find glasses is that the person who's serving me invariably just lets me browse. So, you know, there am I in front of a great big array of glasses frames, and I'm trying on different ones, but nobody comes up and says, oh, you know, would you like some help with that? Let me give you some advice, and so on and so forth. So I salute you if you really help people in that way, because I think it's incredibly difficult. And I've certainly had glasses, brought them home, put them on, and when they're ready with the lenses, put them on and thought, oh my goodness, why on earth did I choose these? So I think the point that you made about balance is very, very important, and be able to see whether the frames actually balance you out. What about colour? I mean, do you like the sort of Prue Leith approach to colourful frames?
I think that's been fantastic for our industry, just to have that brightness. And there's a majority of people are finding now a newfound confidence wearing spectacles, whereas obviously once upon a time it's a little bit like, oof, these are my glasses and one pair is going to last me forever. But yeah, we're finding lots more ladies are coming in and wanting a little bit of sparkle, a little bit more detail, and to be seen, to be proud of wearing glasses, which is lovely. It also lifts colour. So certain frames will, on certain complexions, you will, when you try a pair of glasses on, and we often see this with our patients, that a certain colour can drain, where other colours can totally lift. And that's when you go in the right direction with the colour.
Do you try what we do with our makeup, because we're obviously selling makeup online? Do you try and divide colors into warm tones and cool tones? Is that something that you're familiar with, and you know, an approach that you take, or not?
I do know about it, but I probably just look at people and say, no, you're not having those. I don't like the look of them. They don't go. And quite often we do look at eye color and hair color.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that sometimes if you've gone in with a nice blue dress on and you've chosen a pair of blue glasses, that they're going to look amazing because you're all coordinated. So we often have the scarves as well to cover up what you're wearing, so you've got more of a neutral look.
Yeah.
But we certainly more of the skin tone and the eye colours.
Yeah, I suspect that if you're good at this, and you're obviously really good at it, knowing immediately when somebody puts a pair of glasses on that they're draining them or that they're complimenting them, it will be draining. If I put a pair of orange glasses on, because I'm very cool toned, that would kill me immediately. I would immediately look really weird. Whereas if I put a pair of glasses similar to the ones that you're wearing, actually, that sort of pinky frame on me, they'd look great. And it's like, that's very you know, you're obviously very good at this, about noticing it. For those people watching this, if you're not sure whether you're cool toned or warm toned, we do have a quiz on our website. Do have a look at that, because I think when you are choosing glasses, if you go for something bronzy or browny or tortoiseshell or even orangey or something like that, and you're cool toned, your glasses will be screaming against your skin tone in a way that just won't work. And the same for cool tones. You know, if you go for silver frames and you're actually warm toned, again, it'll look all wrong on you. So I think those things are very important to think about. By the way, anybody watching this, if you've got questions for Karen, don't forget to put them in the chat function. We're going to be talking for a few more minutes, and then we'll break down into smaller groups as we usually do, and then we'll come back and then we'll ask Karen those questions. So please do that, because that will be really very helpful. You mentioned about brides and special occasions and things like that. Now, some of the people watching this will perhaps be mothers of the bride or mothers of the groom, or they will have special occasions that they want to go to. What's your advice? You know, I know you specialize in this almost, so what advice do you give to people in that situation, to brides, mothers of the bride and groom and so on?
Look at your glasses as accessory. Look at them as like facial jewelry. I'm just going to drag a pair of mine. So obviously I've got a very bright sort of the red and pink mine, whereas if I put those on, sorry, the reflection's great. So I've got all Swarovski crystals down the sides and with blue. So for me, when I've worn this for various business awards, it's all about my dress and the look. So the blue of my dress would all coordinate, and that's how I think that glasses should be. We've often heard of comments when brides have gone down the aisle and they've had their own everyday pair of glasses on, but beautiful princess dresses, all glamorous, and these big chunky glasses, which just takes away the look. So just look at it with an accessory. And if you're a mother of the bride, take your hat, go and take your jewelry, and try everything on with your hat and glasses, and look at the overall look.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant advice. And the thing is that if you are wearing quite a lot of jewelry and then you've got glasses on, it's almost like overkill, isn't it? So you might think, oh no, gosh, that's too much. You know, you're like piling on the excess. So for instance, if you're wearing those Swarovski crystal glasses, I think they're sensational. I love them. You might have to think quite carefully about the kind of earrings you might wear with those. So a neat pair of earrings would look terrific, but if you then go overboard on the earrings, it's all going to be a bit over the top, a bit Edna Everage, you know. Remember Barry Humphries as Edna Everage, who wore those amazing glasses with lots of diamante and stuff like that. That's not a look that you're wanting to achieve. and interesting that you say special, special eyewear, not wearing your everyday glasses, because it's not going to be appropriate for that. So I really love that idea. Let's come to makeup. So what's your best advice? So if I come into your shop and I say, I'm really finding it hard to put my makeup on now because my eyesight's really not good enough, but I love to wear makeup and I still want to be able to wear makeup, and the magnifying mirror isn't working terribly well for me anymore. How would you deal with that? What's your best advice?
Well, we do makeup glasses, which like this, which will sit and just flip down. So you can do you've got one eye, they're just like ready readers. So you've got one eye where you can see through and the other eye will flip it down. You can also turn the frame the other way around and flip up. So you can do your bottom lashes, so you can get in the way. Otherwise, magnifying mirror, lots of people use the phones and take pictures and then enlarge it, or have a look with the glasses on and doing it that way. So they'll take a picture of themselves, put the glasses back on and have a look and do it that way. But it is a difficult one. When you're short-sighted, you can take your glasses off and look pretty close to the mirror, which is what I am. I'm fairly short-sighted. Whereas when you just need it for what we call presbyopia, when your eyes need them for reading, then it's quite difficult. So the makeup glasses do help.
Yeah, I've not seen those where you can flip them down and flip them up. That's a fantastic idea. So as long as the lens in the side that it gives you sufficient sight for you to be able to see the other eye, that would be a really good solution. I can see that, and then you could turn them over and flip them up and so on. So that's a very good tip, that one. How about contact lenses? Would you ever say to somebody, well, if you don't want to wear contact lenses all the time, that's fine, but how about just wearing contact lenses to put your makeup on?
Yeah, we do. We get lots of ladies who just wear contact lenses for occasional wear. So you can buy them like 60 pairs at a time. We can also do the contact lens prescription for people who are what we call a multifocal contact lens. So you can still put the contact lens in, be able to see your distance and be able to see close. So just like a varifocal. There's different ways of doing it, but again, your optometrist will be able to do that. A good optometrist will be able to fit you with a multifocal contact lens, and they're great. You just wear them for that one event, go out, you can see the menu, and then you bin them at the end of the night.
Okay, and do you have women that come in and say, I want to be able to put my makeup on, and I don't think I can do that with glasses flipped up or whatever. Can I get contact lenses just to do that? Does that ever happen?
An expensive way of doing it.
Oh, I see.
They would for the nights. Yeah, once they're in, they'll keep them in for the nights, and then seeing the makeup.
Okay, but for special occasions, putting your contact lenses in, then being able to do your makeup beautifully because you can see what you're doing, and then wearing that for the evening is perhaps the way to go if you've got a special occasion. Is that what you would recommend?
Yeah, that way, yeah, yes, because it would be quite expensive just to put them in to put your makeup on and then take them out again. Yeah.
And what would you say are the best approaches from the point of view and what guidance would you give from the point of view of the makeup that you actually choose to wear behind glasses? Are there things that you need to consider around that?
Well, again, I think it's how sensitive your skin is, whether you go for a hyperallergenic makeup or something that's sort of quite skin sensitive. If I was wearing when I wear heavy dark glasses, I would put more eye makeup on. I would have it a little bit thicker, a darker eyeliner, and certainly put lots of mascara on. Whereas when I'm wearing a rimless frame or a slightly lighter colour frame, I don't feel the need to have as much eye makeup on, or blusher or lipstick. Again, I'd maybe go for a more neutral lipstick or a little bit more toned down. So yeah, your different looks, but then again, when you wear different clothes, you've got that look again, haven't you? Where if you've got a few different pairs of glasses, and I always recommend that you'd go for something like a rimless or a lighter color and a darker color, so you would have different looks to complement your outfits.
Yeah, I'm really interested in what you're saying there, that if you've got heavier frames, then your eye makeup needs to compensate for those heavier frames. So you need a bit more eye makeup on, not less eye makeup. Although I do sometimes say to women who find it very, very difficult to put eye makeup on because their eyesight just doesn't let them do that very successfully, and they get very frustrated by it, to say, don't worry about it. Find yourself a pair of frames that really complement you, that look amazing, and let your frames be your eye makeup. So allow those frames to sort of work as the balancing factor in the top part of your face, and then put some lovely blusher on and a really good lipstick, and that will balance your face out quite nicely and actually can look amazing. And don't be afraid of having some really zingy, interesting glasses, a bit like Prue Leith wears. And having mentioned Prue Leith, who is a heroine of mine, she's just over 80, and I just love the way that she I just think I love everything about Prue Leith. I really do. I love the fact that she's got a high profile, that she wears such amazing colours. She's completely unapologetic about her age, and she's, she brings all her expertise to Great British Bake Off. I love her, and I just love the way that she wears those glasses, and usually teams them with a terrific lipstick. Do you have any other eyewear icons that you particularly like?
Well, I brought a selection of frames over. One thing I would say when we talked about special occasion and being a mother of a bride, or being a bride yourself, I would avoid what they call a transition lens, which is one of the lenses that changes colour, which are fantastic for eye health and protection, and you're out and about and sunny days. But on your wedding photos or any other photos when you're outside, you're going to look like you're wearing sunglasses. So that's one thing I would avoid. One of the good things which we've seen coming through now are a clip-on frame. So this is a normal frame with a magnetic clip-on. So they're quite good. So even as a pair of reading glasses, if you want to sit and read in the garden, having a frame with a clip-on. So these are magnetic, so it's not the Harry Enfield look that used to be around years ago. And they're really good for people to read inside and outside, which is quite nice. So I quite like those as an idea.
Drive,
oh yeah, well if you need them for distance, then yes, perfect for driving.
Yeah, I like the fact you just put them on.
Yeah, well they sit quite nice. We've got quite a few of these, and they've been really popular for lots of reasons, because you've got two pairs of glasses in one. The difference with the feel of a frame with this is a metal frame, so it's got the two nose pads. And quite often a metal frame, so if you've got really long eyelashes, the metal frame sits slightly further off your face. So you've got a little bit more of a gap there, rather than a plastic frame that sits quite close. So if you have got long lashes, this is perfect. But also they also feel a little bit lighter, not quite as heavy looking as some of the plastic frames. So they're quite good. I love rimless. Lots of people say that rimless are very for older people. Oops. Sorry, I've got my hair cut there. But I love rimless because, again, I think when you've got different outfits on, your glasses disappear. And again, sorry, I'm just chopping and changing. So I've got a little bit of sparkle on those. But I've got loads of glasses by the side of my bed. I've got one of the stands from
Must be brilliant. I would love it. I would love to have a wardrobe of glasses, I have to say. But then I don't wear them all the time, so I don't need it. But certainly, if I did wear glasses all the time, it would be great to have a shop like you've got and be able to have a great selection. So let me come to you, Emily, and see if we've got some questions for Karen.
Yeah, of course. So one from Margaret. She asked, any advice about glare when you're driving at night?
Yes, you can get an actual driving glass lens for nighttime driving. It's a special anti-reflection coating, but with the anti-reflection coatings we have do make a difference, because what happens is when you're driving along, the light bounces off the front of your windscreen and then it bounces off your glasses. So when you've got a really good anti-reflection coating, it reduces that glare there. But there is a special one. Actually, we use one called Drive by Crizal, which is an Essilor lens, and that's got a slightly green hue on it. So that does work with lots of our patients.
Great, thank you. And Helen asks about glasses with a hearing aid and also wearing a mask. She says it's very difficult to fit them all behind her small ears. Have you heard of anyone else having similar problems?
Yeah, we see lots of patients. So what we tend to do is ask where they want to wear the actual glasses, and then we fit them either behind the hearing aid or over. But there's a lot going on with the ears at the moment. It's quite hard. So just recommending a very lightweight frame, so you haven't got anything heavy at the front pulling down. That will make a difference. Go as possible lightest lenses you can go for. Again, that helps reduce the weights, so you haven't got as much drag behind your ears.
Great, thank you. Mary asks, which says, I loved your Swarovski glasses. Never seen anything like those in any opticians near me. Do you carry lines like these, or do you order them specifically?
I get the reps in, I get the companies in, and I handpick all the frames which I feel will suit our practices. So I just go through, and I see lots of different companies and lots of different representatives, because I just believe that having something a little bit different and individual is the right thing for our patients.
I really wish that I lived much nearer to you, Karen. I would be whizzing down to your shop right now, because I do need a new pair of glasses, and I would love to have the sort of frames that you offer. I just go into Specsavers or Boots or and there's just a wall of such boring frames, and I get so all of they're unbelievably expensive, because they might be Gucci or something like that, and you look at them and you think 400 quid for a bit of plastic around your face. It's just like crazy stuff, and they're not, they aren't, they guarantee that they're any better or any more stylish. So I get very frustrated and furious with that. And if somebody wanted a pair of those Swarovski crystal glasses from you, how would they go about it?
Right. Well, we're in an independent group called Sight Care, and there's lots of like-minded independent practices around. So we could, if you was in a particular area and we found that there was a practice in the independent sector that does the glasses, we can send you to that address. We can do it that way, or obviously come and see us. You can have a weekend.
But apart from physically coming up there isn't anything that I could do with you online as such.
We could send you the lenses, the frames down. We can do a single vision pair of glasses, that we can work out a way of measuring them and doing it that way, but unfortunately we can't fit them. Varifocals we wouldn't do, because we have top of the range varifocal lenses, where we have a piece of equipment called a VisiOffice. I was just saying in the other group, where we take lots of individual bespoke measurements, and for varifocals to be working, we take like the wrap of the frame, the angle of the frame. So we need to see you wearing the glasses to do the measurements. Varifocals, unfortunately, is one of those that when you've had a bad experience with varifocals, that you only hear the negative stories, but they've come along so much in technology. And certainly that's where we like to look after the patients to get the right lenses. Your vision's so important, and messing around with your vision, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you. So Emily, any more questions?
Yeah, we've got a couple of people asking any tips to prevent fogging of the glasses with wearing a mask.
Yes, again, we do a lens which has got what they call an optifog. There's a treatment in the lens, and you get a special cloth with the treatment, which is treated as well. You clean your lenses normally, and then you like buff them up with a cloth, and they work really well. And but again, it's a particular lens we use that we give to our patients. But we've just been giving them to all our patients at the moment. You can get little cloths, which we sell at work, which are okay. They do help, but you've got to keep using them. Otherwise, it's making sure you got the mask underneath your glasses. Try not to have them steaming up that way.
Great, thank you. Hilary asks, with a prescription, would you post glasses?
Yes, we would be able to, we can post them down to people, but again, sorry, with that question, are you meaning someone sort of like buying online and sending me the prescription and then having a look?
I would assume so, yeah.
Right, I don't tend to do that, because I think that's our area of making sure they fit right and look right. I would hate to think I was selling anybody a pair of glasses which were just not right, which they just weren't fitting, because if they're rubbing in the wrong place and then they're not sitting correctly, then you end up looking through the wrong part of the lens and your vision's not right. So there's so much about glasses which needs to be right.
Yeah, could you just say where your 3 shops are again? Just a few people asking.
Knaresborough in North Yorkshire, Goole and Howden are both in East Yorkshire. Knaresborough's it's probably about 7 miles from Harrogate, about 20 miles from Leeds and York. Howden practice is probably about, I'm going to say it's about half an hour drive from Hull. So it's over that way, and Goule's not far from that area.
And when you did your little pop-up at the Silver and Sassy event, is that anything that you kind of do a bit more often? You do like around the country maybe?
It isn't. I got asked to do it by a patient she helped with Middlethorpe Hall with the marketing. We did a photo shoot there quite a few years ago, and it was just a one-off going to do. It's not sort of common, but we have done quite a few events, but we don't tend to travel around. Unfortunately, I've got 4 children, so having the extra work to do, I'm usually running around doing football matches.
What I'll do is I'll post, you've got a website, haven't you? So I'll post the website link across our social channels tomorrow, so everyone can have a look and stay updated. Have you got like an email newsletter that people can sign up to?
Haven't, no. We've just changed our website, so no, we haven't. We do post a lot on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Okay. So
yeah, I'll link out to all of those things tomorrow when we post the video across socials. Mary says she feels a trip up north coming on. Maria, I'll just do one last one. Maria asks, what type of lens would you recommend for playing golf in, as you need near and distance?
A good varifocal. That would work, because you'd be able to, but if you go for one of the bespoke varifocals, which takes all the measurements, you get less distortion at the edges. It's a gradual change from the distance down to your reading. And also nowadays, the varifocals are designed for depth perception. So because we're on telephones, obviously mobile phones and iPads and laptops, so they're designed for everything. So one of our top range varifocals would be perfect for golf. I would also get it as a transition lens, so when it is sunny you can just change and you're not being forced with the glare from the sun.
Great, thank you very much. I think that's all the questions for today.
Thank you, Emily. And my final job, just to thank you, Karen. That was absolutely brilliant and fascinating. And I know everybody in my group enjoyed it very much indeed. And like Mary, I feel a trip up north coming on. I've fortunately got a very, very good friend who lives in Wetherby, which is just down the road from you. So I think I just need to phone Jerry and say, next time I need some glasses, I'm going to come up and stay for a few days and come and see you, because you know, as you say, they probably do need to be fitted, and I do need a little bit of help to choose absolutely the perfect pair. So thank you very much for sharing all your expertise with us, and thank you to everybody who's joined the call this afternoon, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it as useful as I did. So thank you, Karen. Bye-bye.